People are terrible at math. I mean, I'm terrible at math. I'm an English major and I'm terrible at math, but I can do math pretty decently when it comes to logic. But we're bad at it, and customers don't want to do it, can't do it, and don't think about it logically. And I'm going to give you a couple of examples because you're probably relying on your customers doing the math, and that's only part of it, and it's not logical. So let me give you an example that I used to laugh at every year. Live in South Central Pennsylvania. Every time you go to the beach, it's about 150 miles if you go to the Jersey Shore, right? Famous South Jersey Shore. And if you have a car that does 25 miles to the gallon, that means it's 6 gallons of gas to get to the beach. Let's say it's $3 per gallon. I used to laugh every year at this news. Like the news would come out right around the beginning, right before Memorial Day. Oh no, gas prices went up 20 cents, 30 cents. Oh no, they went up 50 cents. Let's impeach somebody. And you know who's going to be affected? The local commoner. And they get some person on there who's like, oh my gosh, we were thinking about going on vacation, but now gas is up 50 cents. I don't know if we can afford it. And the reporter would say, well, where were you thinking of going? Oh, we were going to go to the beach, but now it might just be out of reach. Okay. So 6 gallons of gas, $3, $18 to go to the beach. Gas went up 50 cents. That same 6 gallons now costs you $21. You're telling me that you're not going to take your family to the beach because there was a $3 one way increase. Okay. Oh, I'm sorry, $6 round trip. Listen, this would actually affect how people would think about because it's sort of affecting a different part of our brain. It ain't the prefrontal cortex, the top front of your brain that makes decisions and executive function and smarts. It's at the sort of the dumber caveman level that wants to avoid risk, wants to avoid pain. And when you say that to those people, when you say it's $3 more, they're like, oh my gosh, really? No. Yeah. No, it's got to be. No, it's not. For your trip, you should go on the vacation. I promise. You won't even notice, and you'll be so glad you did. Right? They were going to spend, they like these people are actually afraid they won't be able to afford driving to the beach 150 miles, 250 miles because gas went up a quarter. And I know the local news, I know you're shocked. They might try to stoke that a little bit. That's a different discussion. But I'll give you some other examples. But remember, if we're talking to customers and we say, "Yeah, we save you this," or good, like they're making decisions on two different levels. One is the logic level, and they're probably not doing that math, the $3 math I just did. And then they're kind of like, "Yeah, but I don't know, but is it hard?" Make it easy for them. Show them and let them sit in and marinate in it, right? Because if we do this, and frankly, the funny part is when you do this for your doctor champions, your doctor end users who want it, or your nurses, they're actually glad because they don't want to think about it. It's too hard. Nobody wants to do math. And it's weird we have these pathological, weird, illogical responses to some of this math. I'll give you two more examples. Here's another one I wrote down. And we all have heard this one. It's way safer to fly than it is to ride in a car. And I looked the numbers up. So between 2002 and 2022, on average, there were 42 injuries for people in cars or trucks, 42 per 100 million miles driven. 42. Still a super tiny small number, right? Amazingly, for all the cars that are out there, but 42 per 100 million. Airlines, which everybody, like, I don't like to fly. So it had nothing to do with being afraid of flying, but I get it. Like, there's a lot of people who don't like flying. They're very uncomfortable. God didn't make us with wings, so maybe we, people say, should we really be flying? I get it totally. I get the illogical rationale behind it. 0.07 injuries per 100 million. So it's it's not 42 times more dangerous to ride in a car. It's like 42,000 times more dangerous to ride in a car. But that's not how we think. But at least I have the numbers now. But did any of you who don't like to fly, who don't, did those numbers just change your opinion? It's informative, but it doesn't necessarily change your opinion because it's so illogical. $3 going to the beach, people can wrap their mind around. 42,000 times safer to fly still doesn't make sense. Here's the last one. You ever hear this statistic? Most shark attacks occur within 5 feet of the shore or the waves breaking. Where are 99% of swimmers at the beach? 5 feet from the shore. Of course, that's where all the shark attacks occur. That's where they always are. Now, you might logically think, well, maybe I should swim a lot farther. It'd be much safer. It's not. There's just nobody out there. So the statistics are skewed. There's a million examples of this. But what I'm saying is, number one, math is hard and you have to make it easy. And math is persuasive sometimes. But if there's a big irrational belief against it, you got to use the math to make it more rational. But know that it's going to take time because nobody's just going to be like, oh, well, my gosh, I was thinking of driving instead of flying, but now it's 42,000 times more dangerous. I shall fly. That's not how they do it. But you do have to understand that these things are crazy numbers. And if you can help them wrap their arms around it and do it, at least they're more comfortable. And in some cases, they're comfortable enough. But I can tell you up front, they're not going to do it themselves. We have to do it for them, right? We've talked about that. So hopefully these statistics were interesting and you guys enjoy swimming at the beach, even if it's 50 cents more per gallon. And I'm just looking at my numbers here. And hopefully you stay safe on the roads or in the air. I'm Mark Copeland. I'm the Value Analysis Whisperer. I help companies get their products approved in ambulatory surgery centers and hospitals.